Get ready. An enormous shift is stirring in the cosmic currents, and most people won't see it coming. On June 8th, Mercury, the planet that governs communication, thinking, and everyday interactions, leaves the quick-witted, analytical world of Gemini and enters the deeply emotional, intuitive realm of Cancer. This isn't just another celestial event. It's a profound reset in the way we think, express, and connect. The version of you that thrived on logic, that kept emotion at arm's length, that could neatly separate thoughts from feelings, is about to evolve into something far more heartfelt and deeply attuned. And if you've been experiencing strange emotional waves lately, finding yourself unusually sensitive to the words and energy of others, or having vivid, almost prophetic dreams, keep watching. There's one specific reason why this is happening to you right now, and I'll explain it later. So stay tuned. But first, you need to understand why the next 18 days are so critical, because ignoring this cosmic shift is simply not an option anymore. For the next 18 days, while Mercury transits Cancer, you are in an emotional recalibration. Your mind and your heart are no longer separate entities. They're merging, becoming a single, powerful, intuitive instrument. This explains why things feel so different for many of you right now. It's almost like you're developing a new sense, one that picks up on energies and undercurrents that most people completely miss. You're feeling the ripple of this transit already, beginning to echo through your reality. And if you think this is just some minor energy shift, you're not seeing the full picture, because something else is happening simultaneously, and trust me, it's way bigger than you think. Keep watching, because the signs, you're already noticing them. You just don't know what they mean yet. Your mind is about to merge with your emotions. Remember when you could think logically about something without feeling it in your entire body? Those days are about to vanish. As Mercury enters Cancer tomorrow, your mind and your emotions are no longer separate systems. They're becoming one integrated intelligence. This isn't just about becoming more sensitive, though that will certainly happen. This is about your entire thinking process becoming imbued with emotion, intuition, memory, and a profound need for emotional security. Your communication will naturally soften, becoming more personal, empathetic, and nurturing. You'll find yourself less interested in cold facts and more drawn to the feelings and personal stories behind them. And here's what nobody is telling you. This shift isn't just affecting your thinking, it's changing how you receive information from the world. Suddenly, you'll notice yourself making decisions based on gut feelings rather than logical analysis. You might find yourself remembering conversations from years ago with perfect clarity, especially the emotional undertones that you didn't fully process at the time. Your speech may become more indirect, more suggestive, aimed at conveying care and understanding rather than stark pronouncements. You'll start listening with your heart, seeking to understand the emotional subtext behind the words, and if you feel unsafe or threatened, watch out. You might find yourself retreating into silence or becoming uncharacteristically defensive. This isn't a weakness, it's a power that most people never learn to harness. Because, while everyone else is still stuck in the realm of words and logic, you'll be tapping into a deeper current, feeling the truth that lies beneath the surface. And this isn't the only thing shifting. Something even more intense is happening. There's a cosmic pressure building that will burst tomorrow. What most people don't realize about tomorrow's transit is that it's not happening in isolation. Just hours before Mercury enters Cancer, it will form a powerful conjunction with Jupiter at the final degree of Gemini. This isn't just a coincidence, it's a cosmic pressure point, a build-up of intellectual energy that's about to explode into the emotional realm. Think about what this means. Jupiter expands everything it touches. When it conjoins Mercury in the last degree of Gemini, it creates a massive download of ideas, information, and mental stimulation. Your mind is being stretched to its limits, filled with new concepts, perspectives, and possibilities. And then, just when this mental expansion reaches its peak, Mercury dives into the emotional waters of Cancer. All that intellectual energy doesn't just disappear, it gets transformed, filtered through your emotional body, creating a pressure that needs release. You might find yourself overwhelmed with insights that you can't quite put into words. You might feel the need to share big ideas but struggle to articulate them in a way that feels satisfying. Your mind is buzzing with new information, broad perspectives, optimism. But now, you need to find the emotional resonance, the personal meaning, the heart-centered truth within it all. This isn't just about thinking differently, it's about integrating the expansive vision of Jupiter with the nurturing wisdom of Cancer. And as this cosmic pressure releases, you'll find yourself speaking from a place of emotional authenticity that you've rarely accessed before. But here's the thing, this release of pressure won't be smooth for everyone, because just as Mercury enters Cancer, it immediately faces two major challenges that could derail everything if you're not prepared. Immediately after entering Cancer, Mercury faces two major tests. The universe doesn't ease you into this transition. The moment Mercury enters Cancer, it's thrown into the cosmic deep end. Within hours, Mercury will form challenging square aspects to both Saturn and Neptune in Aries. This isn't just a gentle nudge, it's a trial by fire and water. Saturn, the planet of structure, discipline and limitation, demands that your newly sensitized emotional communication prove itself. It's like being asked to explain your deepest feelings to a stern teacher who's checking for logical inconsistencies. You might suddenly feel self-doubt creeping in. Is it safe to express what you're feeling? Will you be judged? Are your emotions valid, or are they just making you weak? And then there's Neptune, the planet of dreams, intuition, but also confusion and illusion. As it squares Mercury from Aries, it creates a fog around your emotional clarity. Is what you're feeling genuine intuition, or is it just wishful thinking? Are you picking up on someone's true intentions, or projecting your own fears? The line between emotional insight and emotional fantasy becomes dangerously blurred. These aren't just abstract energies. They're creating real pressure points in your life. That conversation you need to have with a loved one, it just got more complicated. That decision you've been putting off? The emotional factors are now impossible to ignore, but also harder to trust. This is why so many people will struggle during this transit. Their newly awakened emotional intelligence will immediately face these harsh tests, and without awareness, they might retreat back into safer, more familiar patterns. They might shut down, become defensive, or simply refuse to engage with the depth of what they're feeling. But you don't have to be one of those people, because once you understand what's really happening, you can navigate these challenges with grace and emerge stronger on the other side. And speaking of other sides, there's another massive shift happening that almost everyone is overlooking. Jupiter enters Cancer just one day after Mercury. While everyone is focused on Mercury's movement, they're missing something huge. Just one day after Mercury enters Cancer, Jupiter, the planet of expansion, abundance and good fortune, follows suit. This isn't just a coincidence. It's a cosmic amplification that changes everything. Jupiter is considered exalted in Cancer, meaning its beneficial qualities express themselves with exceptional power and harmony in this sign. So while Mercury is learning to navigate the emotional waters of Cancer, facing those challenging squares to Saturn and Neptune, Jupiter arrives like a cosmic lifeguard, offering support, optimism, and growth. What does this mean for you? It means that even though the initial transition might be challenging, you're being set up for a year of profound emotional expansion and healing. The very areas where you're feeling most vulnerable, your emotional security, your connections to home and family, your intuitive wisdom, are about to receive Jupiter's blessing. This is why the next few weeks are so critical. The lessons you learn through Mercury's journey through Cancer are preparing you for Jupiter's much longer transit. It's like you're being given a crash course in emotional intelligence right before being offered a major opportunity for emotional growth and abundance. But here's where it gets really interesting. This double transit of Mercury and Jupiter into Cancer isn't just affecting your personal emotions, it's creating a powerful ripple effect in all your relationships. And if you've been noticing strange shifts in how people are communicating with you, there's a reason for that. Your relationships will change as people start speaking from the heart. The way people talk to you is about to shift dramatically. As Mercury enters Cancer, everyone, not just you, experiences this change in communication style. Suddenly, conversations become more personal, more emotionally charged, more focused on feelings than facts. You might notice friends, family members, or colleagues expressing themselves in ways you've never heard before. Someone who's typically logical and detached might suddenly share a deeply personal story. Someone who's usually guarded might reveal vulnerable feelings. It's as if the protective barriers people normally maintain in conversation are temporarily dissolving. But here's the thing. Not everyone will be comfortable with this shift. Some will resist it, becoming defensive or withdrawn when emotions enter the conversation. Others will dive in too deeply, overwhelming you with feelings they've been suppressing for months or even years. And here's what you need to know. During this transit, silence often speaks louder than words. If someone goes quiet, it's not necessarily because they have nothing to say. It might be because they're feeling too much to express it clearly. Like a crab retreating into its shell, people under Cancer's influence pull back when they feel emotionally unsafe. Your relationships will reveal their true nature during this time. The connections that are built on authentic emotional foundation will deepen. The ones that have been maintained through surface-level interaction or intellectual compatibility alone will feel strained, even uncomfortable. This isn't about forcing emotional conversations or demanding vulnerability from others. It's about creating space for feelings to be expressed, for intuition to be honored, for the heart to speak without judgment. And as Jupiter joins this transit, these relationships have the potential to expand in beautiful, nurturing ways. But relationships aren't the only area being affected. Your dreams are about to become powerful messengers, and if you've been ignoring them, you're missing critical information. Your dreams will reveal what your conscious mind cannot see. During Mercury's transit through Cancer, your dreams will become vivid, emotionally charged, and filled with messages your conscious mind hasn't been able to process. This isn't just random brain activity during sleep. It's your subconscious mind speaking to you through symbolic language. Cancer is deeply connected to the subconscious realm. When Mercury travels through this sign, especially as it squares Neptune, the planet of dreams, the veil between your conscious and unconscious mind grows thin. Information flows more freely between these realms, often emerging through dreams, intuitive flashes, or sudden memories. You might find yourself waking up with profound insights that seem to have appeared from nowhere. You might dream of people from your past, situations that mirror current challenges, or symbolic scenarios that contain hidden wisdom. These aren't coincidences, they're messages. And here's the part most people miss. These dreams aren't just processing the past, they're revealing the future. Your intuition is heightened during this transit, allowing you to sense the energetic currents that haven't yet manifested in the physical world. That strange dream about water rising. It might be showing you emotional waves that are about to crest in your life. That recurring symbol, it's pointing to something your conscious mind hasn't been ready to see. Keep a dream journal during this transit. Write down everything you remember, no matter how fragmented or bizarre it seems. Look for patterns, recurring symbols, or emotions that feel particularly strong. These are clues, breadcrumbs leading you toward greater awareness. But be careful with Neptune's influence. Not every dream is a prophetic vision. Some are processing emotional material, some are working through fears, and yes, some are just the brain's way of sorting through daily information. The key is discernment, which brings us to our next critical point. You'll need to protect your emotional energy during this transit. With Mercury in Cancer, your emotional sensitivity will be heightened. You'll be more receptive to the energy around you, more affected by the words, moods, and feelings of others. This can be a beautiful gift, but it can also leave you vulnerable if you don't know how to protect yourself. The squares to Saturn and Neptune in Aries create additional pressure points. Saturn can trigger feelings of inadequacy, fear of judgment, or harsh self-criticism, especially when you try to express vulnerable emotions. Neptune can create confusion, making it difficult to distinguish between genuine intuition and projection or wishful thinking. Here's how to protect your emotional energy. First, create boundaries. Be selective about who you share your feelings with during this time. Not everyone deserves access to your emotional world, especially when you're more sensitive than usual. It's okay to step back from people who drain you or who can't honor the vulnerability of this transit. Second, ground yourself daily. Cancer is a water sign, which means emotions can flow and change rapidly. Without grounding, you might feel emotionally unstable or overwhelmed. Spend time in nature, engage in physical activity, or simply place your bare feet on the earth to reconnect with stability. Third, practice discernment with your intuitive hits. When you receive an intuitive insight, ask yourself, is this genuine intuition, or is it fear disguised as intuition? Is this clarity, or is it wishful thinking? The Neptune square makes this distinction crucial. Fourth, honor your need for emotional safety. Create a sanctuary in your home environment where you can retreat when the world feels too intense. Surround yourself with things that nurture and comfort you. This isn't indulgence, it's necessary self-care during a transit that demands emotional authenticity. Remember, protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's essential. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and during this Mercury in Cancer transit, your emotional resources will be in higher demand than usual. But there's another aspect of this transit that few people recognize, and it might be the most transformative of all. The window for emotional healing is wide open, but it won't stay that way. This Mercury in Cancer transit, amplified by Jupiter's entrance into the same sign, creates a powerful opportunity for emotional healing that won't come around again for a long time. It's as if the universe is creating the perfect conditions for you to access, process, and release emotional patterns that have been holding you back. Mercury in Cancer naturally brings your attention to your emotional history, ancestral patterns, family dynamics, and the very underpinnings of your personal security. It illuminates outdated emotional responses, inherited beliefs, and ingrained patterns that no longer serve your growth. The challenging squares to Saturn and Neptune in Aries actually accelerate this healing process. Saturn demands that you take responsibility for your emotional patterns, that you face them with maturity and realism, rather than continuing to blame others or circumstances. Neptune helps dissolve old emotional illusions or idealized attachments that have kept you stuck. And then Jupiter enters Cancer, bringing its expansive, fortunate, and growth-oriented energy to these same emotional realms. It's like having a powerful ally in your healing journey, one that says, yes, this is difficult, but the rewards on the other side are greater than you can imagine. This is why the time to engage with your emotional healing is now. Journal about recurring emotional patterns. Explore the roots of your emotional responses. Have the courageous conversations you've been avoiding. Look at where you've been seeking security in ways that actually limit your growth. The window is open, but it won't stay that way indefinitely. Mercury will move into Leo on June 26th, shifting the focus from emotional processing to creative expression and self-assertion. The healing opportunity doesn't disappear completely. Jupiter will remain in Cancer for a year. But the intense catalyst that Mercury provides is temporary. Don't waste this opportunity. The emotional clarity and healing you can achieve during these 18 days can set the stage for an entire year of emotional growth, abundance, and genuine security. What happens after this transit will depend on what you do now. The effects of Mercury in Cancer don't end when the transit is over. What you experience, learn. For the next 18 days, a powerful emotional blueprint is being written, a foundation that will shape the way you feel, connect, and communicate for months to come. As Mercury moves through Cancer and Jupiter trails close behind, the universe opens a sacred portal, one inviting you to turn inward, to listen, to feel, to heal. If you consciously engage with this energy, if you honor your emotions, trust your intuition, protect your sensitivity, and commit to emotional self-work, you'll emerge transformed, with deeper emotional intelligence, with a voice rooted in authenticity, with decisions that align with your soul, not just your logic, with relationships built on truth, not pretense. But if you resist, if you cling to the mind while silencing the heart, if you dismiss your emotional needs or leave your inner world unguarded, disconnection may follow. The pressure won't vanish. It'll retreat beneath the surface, only to reappear in subtle, sabotaging ways. The truth is, this transit is a gift, a cosmic helping hand guiding you toward balance, a harmony between head and heart. Jupiter's expansive touch offers growth, healing, and grace in the emotional realm. So as Mercury enters Cancer tomorrow, take notice. Watch how your thoughts soften, how your words seek depth, how your heart longs to feel safe, seen, and understood. Face the challenges, especially those brought by Saturn's discipline and Neptune's illusions, with courage and clarity. Because by the time this transit ends on June 26th, you won't be the same. You'll be wiser, softer, but stronger, a thinker who feels, and a feeler who sees clearly, and that union of mind and heart is what the universe has been preparing you for all along. If you're still here, thank you for your presence. If this resonated, don't forget to subscribe and support the journey. And I'd love to hear, how are you feeling these shifts? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care, stay present, and trust the unfolding.